Transmission, tis I, Mike Martins. Welcome to, I think it's the 206th episode of Trends in the Housing Market, where we discuss affordability, where we discuss the deteriorating middle class, where we discuss what's left, what do we have left to choose from? The economy, what's happening with this whole sickness that's going around. And apparently I just got word from somebody right now that they pulled out of the stock market completely because something's happening again. Go figure. 2020, worst year on history. Put your hand up if 2020 is the worst year on history. I'm going to go back to 1984 when they filmed Back to the Future and let them know, hey guys, the first rule of this time machine is do never program it to 2020. Ever. Marty, Doc, listen to me. I'm from the future. If you want to go to the future, go wherever you want, but don't go to 2020 because it's the worst year. So here we go, guys. I've got comments rolling for trends in the housing market. Economy, oil, silver, gold. Jobs, job losses, everything affecting what is happening. So I got the Australian markets open right now, and we're trailblazing the Australian markets, kind of giving ourselves a little bit of headwind for what's going to happen tomorrow in tomorrow's market. So let's take a quick gander right now at the Australian markets at the All Ordinaries. So you got the All Ordinaries. Okay, let me open this article scan, please. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, this is the All Ordinaries right here. It is sitting at 5,692. It's up 12 points. Not much of a movement. The ASX 200 is up 10 points, 5,583. The Australian dollar is losing ground to the US dollar right now at 65 cents. Oil is just above $33 a barrel, up 7 cents. And we got gold right now down $5 right here. Gold is down right now $5.70 over the 1,700 mark at 1,746. Bitcoin to Australian money, I have no idea. The exchange is a lot. And we got the Nikkei 225 that's open is up 70 points at 20,665. The Hang Seng just opened at 24,425, up 25 points. The DAX is at 11,223. The Dow Jones did well today, and the FTSE did okay. So markets look like they're trending, just trending. So markets in Australia will close in 4 hours. So we'll keep our finger on the pulse to see what's going to happen in the markets tomorrow. Apparently something big is supposed to happen before the end of this weekend is out. Woo! Yeah. Well, guys, you are tuned into Trends in the Housing Market, where we discuss all your housing discussion. We got Axel Rose saying that he got unsubscribed from my channel. Stephen Sewell saying he's got some commercials for my channel. We got Blunt's News saying Carlos Matos. I think I have a relative with that name, to be honest with you. Scary what comes up in these chat rooms. Then we got TJH saying BitConnect, $10,000. BitConnect. All right. Something's wrong with my streaming, guys, and no, it's not my internet. It's actually on the YouTube side. I'm getting 0 people viewing the transmission, so I'm not sure what is happening, which is fine. It says 0 people viewing, but there's so many people in the comments, so I'm not sure what's going on. But anyways, let's move on with a quick channel plug, and we will look over real quick here. Okay, guys, channel plug time. And article scan, please. Here we go, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. People are being unsubscribed. People in the comments are telling me they're being unsubscribed to the channel. Set your reminders here. This is the trends in the housing market we're watching right now. Mike in the Night, consumer spending rebound. They're already talking about a rebound before we know anything. So let's tune into that and have call-ins on that. So don't forget to set your reminders here for the Mike in the Nights. Here, Mike, lots of Mike in the Nights coming up. So set your reminders for all the shows. Call in, be part of the channel. I got a video that's blowing up. I put up a few hours ago. 50% of small business can't make June rent, and that is a huge issue. Electricity bills ready to skyrocket. Guys, that's coming to a city near you. How do you think we're going to pay for all this COVID? Electricity, gas bills, utilities. I mean, they're going to keep pushing up the price of food because it's the right thing to do. And now consumer spending is dead according to Will It Rebound? So that's the video I did there. That one actually got quite a bit of views. And then Treasury swap there. Guys, housing crisis all over the place. All over here, lots of housing stuff, and then, I don't know, it just goes on and on with all kinds of cool stuff to watch on the channel. So, guys, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'm going to give you guys my Instagram. You guys can send me show tips here. Sometimes I get notifications, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I get somebody's trying to notify you, or they automatically flag my messages. I don't know why they do that. I'm not even famous. Like, they shouldn't auto flag messages people send me. That's the dumb. Same thing with my Facebook is down again. Oh, here it is. It's back up. Nope. My Facebook. Oh, there's my content right here. Usually, what happens is my content goes down on Facebook. I have 120,000 fans on here, and they're treating me like I'm a nobody here on Facebook. They said I'm not a credible person. So here's my Facebook. If you want to message me on there, go ahead. And let's get on to business. Oh, yeah, and guys, don't forget to pick up your mugs. If you want to support the transmission, go to Teespring, buy a mug, guys. Support. That's all you need to do to support the channel. We got Steve the Plumber, the gravy man in the house. Pouring gravy down his pants is the way to go nowadays if they want to make it somewhere in life. Oh, yeah. All right, so let's get back to my... Guys, I'm in the Hamptons right now. Hampton Beach here in New Hampshire. A couple of hours drive out, an hour and a half drive out of Portsmouth. Yep, it's happening. I'm here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so what do we got going on here? Wow, the comments are flying, and there's like 2 people watching this. Hello, Mike. Gary Madeda's in the house. Real Kevin Thompson in the house. Toby Cooper in the house. Axel Rolls in the house. Lord Humongous as sure... For sure, always in the house. TJH in the house. Daniel O'Brien in the house. Owen in the house. Real Kevin Thompson. Steve the Plumber. David Xavier in the house. Who else? There's so many people. Steven Sewell in the house. Guys, thanks for joining us for Trends in the Housing Market. I think it's episode 204 or 206. So, what's everybody been up to on lockdown? Whew. Well, I'm opening a few days a week, that's for sure. Steve the Plumber says, Mike Martins, I prefer to wear my new Speedo while doing the gravy pouring. Yes. We got to start pouring gravy down our pants on the channel here, just so we could get... So YouTube will take the channel seriously. You know, it's like I do so much on this, then you look me up on Google, my name, and it comes up the dirty Mike Martins is a criminal scam spineless gut loser, and they put my address up, and there's all this garbage about me. There doesn't say nothing good about me, doesn't say anything about what I've been forecasting all these years, and that's why I've been really, really peed off, about the whole internet thing. They want to make you look like the worst thing humanly possible if you don't swing their way. And that's why we should start. I'm going to start maybe even giving out giveaways on the channel so more people could tune in. Maybe I'll give some more gravy packets where you mix them on your own, and I mail them a gravy packet, and then you could pour it down your pants, and that could show that I'm pouring down pants, Anyways, all right, enough with the joking. Let's get to trends in the housing market. Unfortunately, there's only 2 people watching, so not sure why. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue with the show here. And... okay, so let's get on with business here. Let me open our first articles. We got some big stuff in the news today that I want to share with you guys. And like I said, we got to keep an eye on the Australian markets to see where oil's going tomorrow and gold. Okay. Just looking at the comments, guys. No one panic. Poutine gravy. Yeah, that works too. So Sean Lehman is saying, Sean Lemmerman, sorry, is saying, just went to pick up my tax return from H&R Block, and they told me no cash. I told them they must accept because it's legal tender. They looked for change for 10 minutes. Woo! All right. So, real Kevin Thompson is Steve's shop is 5 minutes from his condo. Steve, you and Kevin Thompson need to do like a live stream from where you guys are at, so we could kind of see you on the channel here and get you guys up here on Skype live, so you guys could talk about what's happening and where things are going with this condo that Kevin Thompson owns in Oakville, Ontario. You know, we need to know what's happening with this condo in Oakville, Ontario, because this is huge. This condo has more discussion in the comments section on trends in the housing market over the last 100 or 200 episodes that we've had. That's like more than anything else. All right, let's break on through to the other side. Break on through. We'll leave Canada up for a little while. We'll get Steve the Plumber on the show. So let's start off here with an article today that's breaking out of Seattle. Now, we've been following the Seattle housing market for a long time now. We've been following it for over 3-4 years now, ever since Vancouver created the foreign buyers tax, and a lot of foreign investors either went to Toronto or they went to Seattle to buy up the market there. So survey, cities like Seattle could see an exodus if remote work becomes the new norm. See, this is really good. They're going to blame remote work so people could live in Utah but work out of Seattle, because nobody could afford to live in King County anymore, right? So this is becoming a huge problem where people cannot commute. So right here, Buddy commutes 75-minute commute to work and 75 to 90 minutes back in traffic. So they're saying, well, why don't you live across the street from your work or a block away from your work? It makes no sense to have all these condos and they're all empty. They're all corporate numbers and they're all empty. Especially the luxury condos, all empty. Oh yeah, we got our soundboard here. To get a little bit of get into the mood here. I know I'm not funny. So anyway, so there it is. So now let's just back up my big mouth here. Let's back up my big mouth, just to make sure that we're not telling stories here. There's enough stories on the internet, so we're not telling stories, and we're just calling a spade. Woo! Live now, trends in the housing market. All right, so let's go here. All right, type this in. This is a big story I covered a while back, and I kept telling you guys that this is a big deal. And all right, which one was it? This is a really big deal, and you guys don't understand. And I just did a video about it happening in rural cities in America. All right. So is this the disappearing middle class? Okay. It's not this one here. Let me show you. This is important that you guys. Is it this one? Yeah, so there's a couple. Seattle is the new Vancouver when it comes to Chinese housing investment. That's an article I read there. And that's a huge problem. And the article was stated that Seattle needs more Chinese. And then Seattle housing crash from a year ago. Is this downward? No. Let me see if I could find that one. There was a one where, Chinese market. So there's in Seattle, of course. That's not just Chinese market for the sake of Chinese markets, right? So see if I could find that one. It's a really... Look at me with the pirate hat on. Oh my god. I've been doing so much trends in the housing market. It's so crazy, man. YouTubers. See, now they're blaming tech companies there on that one. Seattle housing market in trouble. There we go. This is very important, guys. Foreign buyers overlooking Vancouver and heading to Seattle in frantic pace. Now, it's the same thing that happened in Vancouver, where people are mass exiting the city of Vancouver, huge numbers. Whites and Aboriginals are leaving Vancouver in huge numbers. So there it is, and this is what's happening. Mass exodus. Now they're going to say, hey, okay, you could work from Utah, and you could work in Seattle, but you work out of Utah. Yeah! because no one could afford to live across the street from work. Look at all these buildings. Oh, I have 50 condos around my place of work, but I can't even afford to walk to work. I can't even afford to live in my own area. Woo! What do you think is going to happen when you get bought out? All right. Yeah, it's a short clap here. Short clap. Short clap. Thank you. Short clap. Throw out the short claps there. So don't you think that you would think somebody would look at these towers here in Seattle and say, oh, I'm going to live in a condo here, and my work is just right here down the street, and I'm just going to walk to work every day, pick up a piece of a sandwich or a piece of fruit on the way there on one of the stands, fruit stands or something, on my way to work. And no. You're going to commute for 2 hours to get to work. And that's how it's going to work, because you can't afford to live in your own damn city that you were born and raised in. So that's what's happening with that. All right. Zillow restarts home buying business, showing confidence in real estate amid ongoing sickness. So here it is again, guys. Zillow, before the sickness in November, December, was buying up properties, holding them, waiting for them to go up in value, and then reselling them on the market. I think they even fixed some of the properties. I don't even know if they do that. I'm not sure. But no. In America, you could do that. It's easy to do that. But in Canada, watch this, guys. That's Canada right there. Rest in peace. All right. Whoa. Comments are going nuts here. Okay, we get people messaging me here on Skype. Okay, we got TJH says Mike Martins couldn't get a loan for $1,000 even though he owns his home. That's how the bank works. No, I wanted to buy a commercial building in town for my existing business that I own, but I found good rent and I found a good tenant that doesn't even live in the country, so I'm not worried. So, I wanted to buy a building, a commercial building, and I was 30 grand short. Like, I had the rest of them. I had the money to buy it, but I was $30,000 short to buy the building. So, I said, okay, I'm going to buy this building. I'm going to go to the bank and get the 30 grand I need. I own my house, free and clear. I own all my vehicles. And I own my company. Like, everything in my company is mine. I don't have any IOUs. I don't owe anybody anything. It's mine. It's all mine. Even my debit machine I own. I own my own debit machine. I don't even pay monthly fees on it. I pay my monthly, deductions, but I don't pay for the machine. I own everything in that building. Even the light bulbs in that building belong to me. So anyways, I went to the bank and said, look, I have a house, I have this, I have that. Oh, your business for self. Your business for self, so we can't really help you out. You could take my whole house that's paid for, and you could take my 80% deposit I'm putting down, because I only need 30 grand to buy this place. I know, but your business for self. Oh. Okay, so then I went to the credit union and I went to the other bank in town and they told me the exact same thing. I don't qualify. I have good credit. They said your credit's good. Everything's good. It's not like you don't pay for your stuff. It's just you just don't qualify for the $30,000 loan. So yeah, Daniel O'Brien says the banks do not like self-employed people. No, they don't. If you're self-employed in Canada, you're considered garbage. That's what you are. That's how you're treated. Then you had some guy from Australia starting weighing in, oh, your welfare and this and that. You can't even get a loan for 10 grand and this and that. Holy smokes, that went on for almost a year. So, all right. So people are saying, Steve the Plumber says, Axl Rose, that really doesn't matter. And I'd prefer not to discuss that. Please respect my decision. Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on there in the comments. Comments are already getting heated. You want to join this comment section? You come on now. Come on now, live. So again, Zillow's restarting to buy homes, so it looks like they know something. So I'm watching the Australian markets right here. I'm watching the Australian markets to see what the heck is going to happen tomorrow in the markets. Gold is taking a kick in the pants right now, but not too much. But oil's still above 33 bucks a barrel, so I'm keeping my eyes and fingers crossed here. All right, let's get back to, so we read this one, Seattle, goodbye. Zillow, of course, they're going to start rebuying properties again. It's their business. So somebody is swearing in the comment section. Not sure why. Somebody is... people could not swear in the comment section, please. Thank you. All right. So we got... my first Mike in the Night. No, this is Trends in the Housing Market. Mike in the Night is on Saturday nights, guys. It's not really night. It's still sunny outside. It's like 25 centigrade, but still. Remote work may trigger suburban boom in real estate. Again, so now what they want to start doing is massaging the people into thinking, hey, okay, maybe you do live 2 hours drive away from work and you're tired. If you're tired to drive 2 hours to work, you don't want to drive 2 hours to work, hey, start working from home. That's okay. No, it's because people can't afford to live in their own goddamn cities. If you're just tuning into the show, back it up a bit. You can see what I'm talking about and what happened in Seattle. Vancouver's finished. Toronto's finished. Those cities are gone. In Canada. You got nowhere else to live in Canada. Canada's like this. Watch this. Watch this. That's Canada right there. Finished. Rest in peace. Chicago, housing prices are on the rise, and here's why. The recent uptick comes despite the continued stay-at-home order that will keep non-essential business shuttered through the month. Home prices in Chicago are on the rise, a combination of tight supply from COVID and recent uptick in showings that has resulted in multiple offers on a single property. Guys, go to the damn channel. I just put up a video about an hour ago. I think it already has 1,000 views. Go to the channel. Here it is. Oh, they didn't even put it up on my channel. Wow. Well, it's on their videos, guys. It's right here. Wow. They didn't even put it in my playlist. Right here. Bidding Wars. Bidding Wars coming to a city near you. You want to watch this one because rural America is going to start to see bidding wars. They're going to start to see people on cell phones standing there with a potential investor saying, raise. And then the average American walking by going to work and saying, what the heck is going on here? Same thing like in Dublin, Ireland, where the whole city of Dublin, Ireland got transformed in 2 years. So I think someone's going to start cutting their grass outside. My neighbor cuts his grass every day. All right. Okay, so I wanted to say that. I wanted to kind of throw that out there. Okay, we got Toby Cooper saying hi to everyone from the Maritimes. How much does it cost for a nice 2-bedroom apartment in Merritt? There's not too many high-rises in town, but there is one. I did see one for sale, and I think it's going for $160, and that's $160 for a 2-bedroom. I think that's a bit pricey because I paid $260 for my house, and my house is not small, but I bought it 3 years ago. So, Mike, what did you think of the Fed Chairman Powell on 60 Minutes? I kind of slept through that, to be honest with you. I did do a video a few days before what he said because it is on its way with the whole buyout of ETFs and all this junk. I hope that's what you're talking about. What happened in Ireland? Ireland, in Dublin, okay? We covered here. Well, here, I'll even go to the channel and show you guys what happened in Ireland. Ireland is so like messed up. I think I have to type in Dublin or right here. Ireland, massive housing crisis. And this is in the last 2 years. In the last 2 years, Ireland started to see this massive, rare bidding war phenomena where people were bidding on homes that were 130, 200,000 euros. Houses went to 200, 300 right here. Northern Ireland house prices. Now, this is in Northern Ireland, in Belfast, were the strongest performing in the UK during 2017 with a 5.8% increase to the average £139,000. UK-wide price inequality growing. Ireland housing disaster. 9,846 homeless in Ireland. Ireland housing depression. Foreign investors going to Ireland. So that's the problem. That is a huge issue. The city got transformed completely in 2 years. Abandoned now. And what is Dublin doing? The city council? They're doubling and tripling down on taxes because the people that lived and worked in Dublin that actually paid for the infrastructure left. They left to other parts of Ireland. Sometimes I wish I'm making this stuff up. Honestly, to be honest with you guys, I honestly wish sometimes I'm making this stuff up. All right, we should get a caller before I get a heart attack. We should get a caller on the show. It's only showing 6 people watching, so I'm not sure if there's anybody watching the show right now, but so showing 6 people. Yeah, Ireland, Nanny 14054. How cringe, says somebody. VC's got a point in the comment section. There's gonna be no food. Get that through your head, and start learning how off the internet before it's too late, baby. This is really serious. Kia saying, well, Toronto homeowners are worried. I got some Toronto articles here I'm going to put up in the next 3 minutes. I scheduled Steve the plumber for about right now. I hope he's not in jail or anything. Low Roller Scratcher says, I have seen America living in Mexico, then work in the USA. I have seen it on YouTube documentary. What do you think? Mexico need worry? No, here's the deal. With Mexico doesn't have to worry. Because foreigners cannot own in Mexico. Foreigners are not allowed to own. And when I say foreigner, I say me, the Russians, the Chinese, the Turkish, the French. They cannot own in Mexico. They're a foreigner. Americans cannot own in Mexico. Oh, Mike, my friend's got a villa in Puerto Vallarta, and he's been living in Mexico. No, he doesn't own it because it's lease, and after 100 years or there's a 50-year, I found out. I have a lawyer in Cuernavaca, Morelos, Mexico. I lived in Mexico for 2 years. I tried buying twice in Mexico in 2 different states, and both times they laughed me out of the office saying, we can't sell to you. You are a foreigner. You're an outsider. You can't buy in Mexico. Mexico has nothing to worry about. They'll keep their sovereignty. They'll keep their country. In 100 years, they'll be still speaking Spanish in Mexico. Don't worry about that. I wonder what they're going to be speaking in Canada in 100 years. Woo! So VC is saying, thank you, Mike, for your advice on the apartments. Yeah, no problem. I got your it was a message on Facebook, right? Yeah, just do a total debt service ratio calculator. Make sure you have money for food left over, please. Kia is asking, can I buy a house in China? Nope. Through marriage? Nope. Marriage doesn't work. You marry a Mexican, you still don't own that land. She does. Or he does if you're a woman. It doesn't work like that. I even thought about that too. I was going to marry this Mexican. I was chasing after a Mexican woman a long time ago in my early 20s. And when I started finding out the laws there, it's like, holy crap. Yeah. We have 30 minutes before Steve calls. Mike, find me a nice house in Mexico. Guys, I can't solicit houses in Mexico unless you want to go there to rent. I cannot legally solicit homes in Mexico because you're not allowed to buy them legally. All right, who else is out there? Man, comments are flying. Okay, we got Quark Nog saying owning land should be based on citizenship, not residency. It's a serious thing. Yeah, well, Canada's finished. The problem is, where are Canadians going to go when they can't afford to live anywhere in their own country? We brought this up on Mike in the Night like last year, and we did a show 6 months after that again following up. Where are people from Australia going to go if they can't afford to live in their own country? Very limited cities in these countries. Right? Yeah, we got Nanny1454 saying, houses in Sydney, Australia for $2 million. They're not even nice. Look at this in the Hamptons. Look at the home I'm in the Hamptons. Right? This house, 400 grand. This house in Sydney, you can't even find a house like this in Sydney. You can't even find a house like this if you probably could, but you're probably gonna have to dish out 7, 8, 9, 10 million bucks. Low Roller Scratcher says Canada can move in the Philippines. No, they can't. You have to be Filipino to own in Philippines. Citizenship and residency, no empty houses, says Quark Nog. Yeah, there's too many empty homes. For every one homeless person in LA County, there's about 44,000 homeless people. For every one homeless person in LA County, there's cuatro, catre, empty condos for every one homeless person. And I'm not saying, oh, Mike, were you going to give homeless people free homes? No! Some of these people got pensions. They could pay a little menial rent. They don't have to be living on the damn streets. Oh, where are my shades? Oh, my shades are from Mike in the Night. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is sunny in here, too. Yeah, it's nice weather we're having here in the Hamptons. Hampton Beach. All right, guys. Hi, Mike. Stay strong. Don't let the nasties get in your head. Oh, no, VC. Don't you worry. I'm loving life. I'm loving life. That's true, Mike. You can own a condo in the Philippines as a foreigner. That's not true, Mike. You can own a condo in the Philippines as a foreigner. Okay, I'll ask my wife again. But, I mean, sure. I mean, it'd be nice. You know what I'm saying? Yes, everybody that supports Supreme Cannon starting his own content and videos say woo. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Supreme, damn slacker, thanks for that. I'll give it some thoughts. Yeah, I've been telling Supreme Cannon to start his own channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to educate Supreme Cannon on what not to tag, what not to talk about, because I really want his channel to take off. His channel will pass mine like I'm tied to a pole, right? My channel, this is the worst performing YouTube channel in the history of YouTube. 4,300 videos. For every 3 subscribers, they get 1 video from me. Yeah, that's how bad this channel is. This is one of the worst channels on YouTube. And I know I said this before when I was doing Morning Coffee with Mike. There was a guy driving, doing a live stream with 540,000 subscribers. And his live stream was going for over 40 minutes. He only had 60 people watching with 500,000 subscribers. And he had a check mark from YouTube as a verified channel. And he didn't even have 60 people watching. I took a screenshot of it. So what does that tell you? All right, let's get a little discussion here from let's see who's in the there's kind of few people. Let's see if Evan's around. Evan hasn't. I hope Evan's okay. I tried calling Evan a few times. I hope he's okay. He's not picking. Oh, it's ringing. Someone's asking me, Mike, do you think YouTube deleted your followers? I don't know. Because I have 19,900 people unsubscribed from my channel. So I don't think people purposely go on their YouTube to unsubscribe from people on purpose. I don't think people go out of their way to do that. I think 1% of the populace would do that. I have channels I've been subscribed to for 13 years, right? And I haven't seen any of their content in a while, you know? All right, who do we got here, man? Who do we got? I'm just going through my call log here. I usually check to see who's online right now, who's available, and then I decide who to call. But everybody looks like they're outside enjoying the nice weather. It's just absolutely gorgeous here in the Hamptons. Okay, let's see if we could get David Xavier. Yeah, see the sun, guys? Lower Scratcher put a business. Read this article. Takes an take a look. Expensive internet in Canada. Oh yeah, Canada. Everything's like 50 times the price. Telco customer. Yeah, internet bill more than triple during. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, internet bills are quadrupling. I did a video here on the channel. Let me go back to the channel here. So oops. Article scan, please. Article scan. Here it is. Look, internet bill triples. Oh, yeah. Oh, $5 per gigabyte. The federal government's going to start taxing anything over 20 gigabytes. They're going to start charging $20 a gigabyte, or they're going to tax $20 a gigabyte, and then $5 goes to the internet provider, right? So let's look at this here. I did a video on this, and it's kind of important that you guys actually weigh in on some of these videos. It's right here. If you go to my videos, it's right here. Electricity bill to skyrocket. Guys, this is important. And watch this article heading. Look. Your tax returns and let me see if I can go back here. Right here. Look at this. Listen to this. You're not going to believe your ears. Ontario should target its electricity subsidies and let bills go up for consumers who could afford it. Oh, you make a little bit more money? You're going to pay more for electricity! Woo! Yeah, if you make more money, according to here in Ontario, in the province of Ontario, Canada. Oh, Mike, I live in Sydney, Australia. Who cares? Hey, guess what? You don't think the government in Sydney, Australia is reading this and saying, yeah, let's raise the electricity prices on people who could afford it. Yeah. Kia saying, Mike, it's not Canada anymore. Yeah, Ontario, British Columbia has hydropower. Yeah, so there it is, guys. How do you think you're going to pay all this? So there it is. This was set to be by Low Roller Scratcher. Telco customers see internet bill more than triple. Well, that's how it works. And do you think it's going to go down after? Yeah, I'd rather go bet on a racehorse with a broken leg than bet on it ever going back down. Yeah. All right, let's get back to some housing articles here. You guys are tuned in to trends in the housing market. Well, anything that has to do with your bills going up is going to affect your housing, right? All right, let's take a look at what's happening in the Australian markets. The market's open for another 3 hours. Oil still above $33. Australian dollar is pulling away from the US dollar at 65 cents. The All Ords is down. ASX is down. Gold is down 650, sitting at 1745. And what's happening in Asia? Oh, the Nikkei is down, and the Hang Seng is down. So I gotta wake up early to keep an eye on my portfolio. See if I just sell off right away. Well, now it's just such unstable times. You know what I'm saying? So we got someone, McLeod40 saying they are turning people into working slaves. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly where it is, people. It's disgusting. You know, I'm not asking for free electricity. I'm not asking to pay for what Madison Square Garden pays every month for electricity for me to pay the same at my house. Yeah, we got a couple of people promoting BitConnect in the chat section there. So that's what's happening right now in the markets. Australian markets are going to close in another 3 hours, so we'll keep our finger on the pulse. Somebody was asking me to do a live stream every day, and I'm like, I can't do a live stream every day. I am too old and frail. Too old and frail to be doing them every day. You know, trends in the housing market is a good change, and then Saturday nights is Mike in the Night, and that's a good change of a different spin on things, you know? So Nanny 140405 is saying Ontario's being roasted in the comments. Oh, I lived in Ontario when I was a kid. I lived on Dufferin and St. Clair. And growing up as a Portuguese, oh man, that was the worst. If you're Portuguese in Ontario, they're not hiring you. They're not going to hire you. The high schools don't want you. Nobody wants you. When I was growing up as a Portuguese in Ontario. Oh, it was terrible. Mike, you should do a house party session. Yeah, man, we'll do a chat house party thing one time. We'll arrange something. We'll do a Mike in the Night house party, and you know what? We'll do a house party at my store, at my shop. I'll move all my stuff there again. We'll set up the shop, and we'll do a house party at the store, and have people that live in the province or could arrange to come to my store and be at the store for Mike in the Night, and actually be there live with me and other people, and having music playing and talking and stuff. I think we should do that. Toby Cooper says, our leaders are all gangsters and thugs now. No, they're not. Leaders and gangsters and thugs dress really nice, and they always have the pretty girls. Our leaders don't, so let's just kind of throw that out the window. We got Supreme Cannon in the house. All right, let me actually give him a call. It looks like his internet is working. Let's find out if he's going to get a channel thrown up there. I really, really hope he does. He's been considering it, and I think he should. Now pick up. Supreme Cannon ain't picking up. No big deal. No big deal. All right, so let's see who we have here. Let's get a caller on. Guys, if you want to be a first-time caller, go ahead and call into the show. Mike Martins 1980 at Gmail. Just my Gmail. Oh, there's Supreme Cannon. Yo, Supremo.
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Good. How are you, my brother?
So far, so good. No complaints at all today.
Good. There's rumors that you might be starting your own YouTube channel.
Well, I'm getting a little feedback there. I really appreciate that, guys. You're sweet. Thank you.
Well, how many times have I told you to get a YouTube channel?
You've been whipping me to do that for a while. Yeah, I need to stop being so silly and just get busy.
Just do it. I mean, what, you know what I'm saying? It's like something you should do because you have a lot of knowledge and you should be sharing your knowledge. Honestly, you know, when there used to be a friend, believe it or not, an old Chinaman that I would speak to a lot. We'd get into in-depth conversation, and he'd tell me all the time, so what are you going to do with what you know? He would always say that to me. So what are you going to do with what you know? And I'm like, that's a good question.
That's a very good question. That's the best question. Yeah, so much of my knowledge is, I mean, I'm a dilettante, right? Little of this, little of that, and yeah, to organize it and, you know, form some kind of a picture is, I don't know. It's it's pretty challenging for me to organize that.
Yeah, and I'm going to give you like a few rules to go by when doing your YouTube channel because I've been doing this for a long time, and I promise you, your channel will take off and it will get to where it needs to go. Like literally, like it will pass my channel like it's tied to a pole. I'm not kidding.
Oh, Oh, it might be fun. Yeah, it might be fun. Yeah,
Because
something to do.
you'll be
Need a
fresh,
hobby
you'll
anyway.
have no strikes, you'll have no judgments against you.
Well,
Where
that's right. Yeah,
mine's
I'm
full of
coming
crap.
right,
My YouTube channel's
right.
full of crap. It's just there's mistakes I've made over the years, right? And
Well, live and learn, right?
yeah,
Is there? I mean, I think we've talked about it. Is there a possibility you could just, portage your best of content over and just start a new one somewhere?
I could try doing that, but the problem is with that is there's still going to be haters around that are going to flag it and complain, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm liable to grow some of the exact same haters too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I mean, it's not a big deal.
Oh,
You're starting from a complete obscurity. It just shouldn't be that big of a deal. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Tig, I do have a channel. I just haven't put anything on it.
Well, he will. He will. I promise.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
one day, hopefully, I'll be a guest on his channel.
absolutely. You'll be my regular guest. We'll have Mike in the night and Supreme in the morning or something.
Yeah. We could do correspondence streaming where when you stream something, I'll take your stream and then stream it on my channel.
Yeah, I see that. I see people do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
and then you could
content
do it
winds
when
up
I'm
on
streaming. You can
channels.
stream on your channel. Oh, Mike in the Nights tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and stream his thing on mine.
Yeah, well, that sounds great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'd be totally
Now,
down for that.
Supreme, here it is. I got it up. It's a housing discussion, and I want you to weigh in on this one
Okay.
because I really want to get your feedback, and everyone's gonna ask someone's feedback on this because they know what my feedback is on this. It's just gonna be the arm bashing, right?
Right.
So
right.
I'm not gonna arm bash on this one. So let's go to article scan. Let me adjust this.
Okay. I'm on a bit of a delay. So
No, I don't
it'll be
want
a
you to see
second
that
place.
because I want this to fall on you.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
China is back in business. Fears Australian housing prices could surge as foreign investors look to snap up cheap properties.
What
This
cheap
won't be the
properties?
first time this is happening because when the Australian dollar went weak about half a year ago, the Chinese went back full force in Australia. What
Right.
the heck is happening? Like, can't Australians buy in their own market? Remember that last week article I read where housing markets will do very badly in Australia because we can't get any more investors in? What the heck is that supposed to mean, Supreme?
Well, the whole Anglosphere has got this plague of technocrats that have this idea what they want the country to look like, and they just pretend not to notice what they're doing to the people that have been there for 100, 150 years, right? I mean, I don't know how Australian housing prices could surge. Are there cheap properties in Australia? I don't think there are yet.
Like if you're 4 hours away from the capital, like the major cities, like if you're a 4 hour drive.
Right, right.
Because remember, when we
Yeah.
talk about affordable housing, we talk about within wages, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
We're not talking about, oh, interest rates are almost zero, so you could afford to buy this $2 million house. No, 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 no. We're talking about actual affordability levels.
Yeah, well, right, and now that now that the entire Anglosphere economy has been basically had the key turned off on it for 3 months, God only knows what kind of a head start that kind of money coming in here would get when things are already bad enough.
And there's a lot of people, and I'm not blaming them for fleeing China.
No, I don't blame them either
No.
for wanting to get out of there. I get it. I get it. It's just that there's people that they never leave China. They buy these properties sight unseen all over the developed world, and then they just can't hold them, right?
Mm-hmm.
That there isn't even anybody living in them. It's ridiculous. And in the end, it's going to bite them too, because things are going to blow at some point. They're only as I understand, they're only about 5% of the total number of buyers. Right. So all they're doing is keeping a floor under the price, so the price
But what
can't
do we do
correct to
about
where it needs to be.
But what do we do about the investor that owns 460 properties in Sydney but has never been to Australia in his life?
Well, he needs to pay some tax. He needs to pay some big tax, because if you're putting a floor under the price, obviously the city, the municipal authorities love the taxes that they're going to charge this guy, right? And the fact is that they're kind of painted into the corner because all of them have huge pension obligations they have to meet.
That's
They've
right.
got a lot of expenses. They're painted into a corner. There's not much they can do. Yes, prices need to go down. We need a washout, and they're going to do absolutely everything they can to keep that from happening, even though all of the locals are looking right at them and telling them, you're doing this, and they're going to pretend that they're not hearing it. And you can't count on any kind of established media to cover it.
Yeah,
So
what's the deal?
this is as close as you get. Fears Australian housing prices could surge. At least someone there is acknowledging that actual Australians that want to buy a home, that want to get involved in the real estate market, are they can't do it. It's gonna, there seems to be a bit of a lag time between the actual panic and the media picking up on it, and and in some places it's just where the media is more state run, like in France, obviously. Like how many times have the Gilets jaunes, the yellow vests, actually been covered in French media?
7 times.
7 times, yeah, in over a year and a half. And 11 dead, and some people permanently maimed, and property damage, and
you know what they're keeping under wraps?
What's that?
You know what they're keeping under wraps there? The housing. Do you know how many people in France moved into a vacant home that's owned by a foreign investor, change the locks, and move in? And call the cable company, call the electricity company, call the water company, hook up everything, put everything in their name, start receiving correspondence to that address in their name, and that's it. How many times do you call the electrical company? Hi, I'd like to set up the electricity in my house. Sir, did you steal this house? They don't ask if you stole the house. That only happened in Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Right, yeah. Well, that's going to happen next. Yeah, those places aren't just going to sit empty. If they're in secured buildings, obviously, there's going to be a little difficult for you to just buzz yourself in and move into somebody's penthouse. But you're absolutely going to see more of that. I don't see how you'll avoid it.
Sorry, it's pretty windy here. I have to keep my window open because it's pretty hot in this room. So.
Oh, sure, yeah, it's howling out here too right now. Yeah.
So here, let's keep reading this. Let's keep reading this. Australia's handling of the COVID crisis has been appealing to buyers. Plunging Australian dollar and house prices means Chinese can get a bargain. But what about the Australians? All these people on the side, what about the Australians? Do they get up? Do they have a chance to buy their own damn property in their own goddamn country?
Well, you got all the people that have been enjoying that massive increase in their home equity, that have been living in these cities for decades, right? They're not interested in seeing that go down either. They're not going to vote for that to happen. So I think you're going to wind up with kind of like what you have in America, kind of what you have in Canada. You're going to have a real pronounced rural and urban divide, and the politics is going to get more divided and more radical because it is garbage. It's ridiculous. We're being governed like we're being occupied by a foreign power, functionally.
And then it says here, experts fear Australian buyers could be outpriced by keen Chinese investors.
Well, they probably will be, unless the Australian government puts some kind of roadblocks or speed bumps in the way so that at least potential Australian buyers get first dibs. I mean, we pay all these taxes and bear all the burden of this bureaucracy and stuff because membership is supposed to have some kind of privileges, but we live in a post-national nation now, so our citizenship doesn't mean anything in terms of all that. It's us competing against Chinese slave labor and their overlords coming over here and buying our stuff up. And they're not buying it all up, of course. So like I said, the percentage is relatively small, but they pay top dollar and it keeps the floor under the price.
Real estate agents said 90% of their inquiries are coming from Chinese investors who have never visited Australia.
Probably never will. They probably never will. It's the system of property ownership that we have in the Anglosphere, right? Our private property laws make things a lot more valuable here, and our relatively functional bureaucracy and our law and order kind of, rule by law, that kind of thing. It makes it more valuable than obviously a place like China where corruption is even more endemic than it is here. Okay, but with that money, obviously, as you've seen in the States, as we reveal more and more, a lot of that money has come over, and that Asiatic corruption has come with it.
Like Canada, $200 billion laundered from 2010 to 2015, $200 billion through Canadian real estate. That's not including layering through companies, right? And $200 billion laundered, that means it's illegal money and it wasn't declared. Why didn't they declare the money when they entered the country? Because it's illegal.
Well, they paid somebody not to not to make a note of it. Thank you. That's exactly right, and that's something that I've said. Mike has said. If the Chinese withdraw their money, yeah. If if China really wanted to get back at us for something, okay, then they could institute even tougher capital controls than they have, and they could demand that all of these foreign investors repatriate, if not 100%, say 50% of their overseas capital and bring it back to China, because they certainly have their own financial crisis going on right now. So if that happened, you would have tens of thousands of housing units in the most valuable areas that are suddenly dumped on the market. And if there's a time limit to get that money back to China, then the prices are going to drop a lot. And in a case like that, yeah, bargain hunter, that sounds great for the banks that have leveraged themselves up the hoo-ha, okay, trying to get people into these houses with subprime and questionable arrangements. All right, now we're facing the black hole. We're facing an implosion, like a massive deflation. They don't want that. They will throw us all under the bus to stop that from happening. So that to me, again, is why I'm always about get the hell out of debt, get out of, get some assets, have some reserves. Just assume at some point in time, someone's gonna pull the plug on this bathtub, and you don't want to go down with it. Not right now. Everything is overpriced. There are no deals anywhere in anything right
for the
now.
average
It's
Westerner.
outlandish.
For the average Westerner, no.
No, I mean there's towns, there's localized areas. North America is an enormous place. It's not bad everywhere. All right, who's the young fella there in Montreal talking about how, and I think Rainer Mulla is there as well, said that prices have been going up and building is frenetic and everything else, right? That'll top out too eventually, but it may not be as bad there as as it will be in Vancouver and Toronto, right?
Okay, here it is. So, guys, look, article scan. Take a look at this. You see this moderate? This is in Australia. This is an upper class condo. In New York, that's like one of those like tenement buildings. There's nothing special. It's an old brick building, probably almost 100 years old. Now, I could see it here on the sign: 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and 1 car park, $1.4 million.
Yeah, outlandish.
But if you look at the building, you'll say like what, 1.4 million for the whole building? Because that's probably what you could buy something in Chicago. You could buy that whole building in Chicago for the whole building, all the units.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I
don't
buy
know
probably
what
3
it
buildings
is.
like
I
that
don't
for that kind
know.
of money.
And
could
then
probably buy
when they have
3,
these big meetings, they have these big meetings here with all these investors that are here, and they're all laughing at the people living in the country, saying their own people can't even afford to buy in their own country.
Mm-hmm.
We already brought that up a few times, and it was in articles that we actually read.
Yeah,
Where if
it's just
you want to buy
Chicago is.
Yeah, if you want to buy a condo in Vancouver, you have to go to Shanghai because
Yeah,
the showing was
Chicago-
there.
Yeah, Chicago and all of Illinois is bankrupt.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things again where you're in a position now. The way I see it and the way I'm playing it, okay, is have debt, as little debt as possible. If it's too big to get rid of, then at least have the reserves that you can make payments on it for a few months if things go bluey, right? And we're going to wind up with some sovereign defaults, at least at the provincial and the state level. And some municipalities, no matter how valuable they may be, do declare bankruptcy. Orange County in California, Mike, they declared bankruptcy 20 odd years ago, right?
They did. Yes, they did.
They were somebody got them involved in derivatives, trying to get some kind of return on their money, their pension funds or whatever it was, and they just flat out, they imploded. It just someone pulled the chain and down the toilet they went, right? So they had to go Chapter 11 or Chapter 7, whatever it is. I could see that happening in Chicago. It may happen in New York City. Cuomo right now is pounding the table for something like close to $8 billion that he needs from Washington to stay afloat. And, at this point, Trump's saying, no, you're on your own. We're not paying for sanctuary cities. You're on your own.
We covered Vancouver filing for bankruptcy, and Toronto looking like it's going to file for bankruptcy. And no, the people that actually invested in the infrastructure mass exited out of those cities. They're gone.
Yeah,
They're
yeah, that's
complaining.
right.
You know what they were complaining about in Vancouver? Oh, so many units don't have hookups, no water, no electricity. There's no hookups and this and that. And the internet company saying, oh, we need to start to charge other people more for internet because so many units that we have hookups in that we pay to put the hookups. You know, like the electrical company pays for the hookup. The you know, they pay to hook these things up into these units, right? They wire it in, right?
Yeah,
And they're saying, well, we're going to have to increase our internet now because like half of the grid isn't using the internet because it's not hooked up to it.
yeah.
Well, it's because it's empty. No one's living in it. Now the people that are paying for the internet have to pay more for the people that basically leave all their apartments empty.
That's right. That's right. It's just increasing costs across the board for everybody else. It's just one of those things. You know, like there's probably going to be a mass sell-off because I don't think that these overseas investors really intend to take us over. They want assets outside of China because China is a corrupt basket case.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Jay
this
Smith,
idea that there's this Asian tiger idea, you guys got to get over that. Okay, like here in the Anglosphere, we haven't put up any kind of a fight against that for 25, 30 years. Okay, I'm not saying China's a paper tiger. I'm just saying we're not either. This idea that there's this cycle of history that we're about to get replaced by Asia, you know, you see how the rest of Asia is run? No, what you're going to have is you're going to have an even sharper division. It's going to be cultural. It could be definitely political. And you're going to have radical politics, especially between the urban and the rural areas. There's going to be some real sharp divides. And I don't know how we're going to reconcile that. I'm hoping. Yeah, no, most of North America was empty, Alman. I see what you're saying. Okay, but eventually we signed treaties with them. Okay, they had no distinct borders on the territories. Most of them were migrants.
mm-hmm.
Okay, they migrated. They followed the caribou. They followed the buffalo and the rest of it. Were they poorly treated? Yeah, absolutely they were. But we have treaties with them.
Okay. Jay Smith is saying last week we were saying the property in Australia was in trouble. That was the buy signal for the Chinese buyers in China sent by Australia real estate agents. Canada's next. Oh, Canada's finished. Supreme, with the limited amount of cities we have to live in Canada, it's not like we're like Texas, and I said this before, has more major cities than all of Canada does.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, absolutely.
We do. They have like San Antonio, Houston, Austin.
Yeah.
You know, El Paso. You know, like all these places they have that we just cannot. Dallas. There's all these cities that we cannot compete. Like they have the option of moving around. But now, if you go back to today's video I did that I put up just before trends in the housing market because I had to get this video out. This video is very important. Today I put up a video, and it's right here, guys. Guys, pay attention. It's called Bidding Wars. American Bidding Wars coming to a city near you. Coming to rural America now. So I had a guy from Texas message me, telling me that they're bidding for homes in Texas. The house went for was a 5-bedroom, 3-bath for $225, and it sold $50,000 over asking. He's never seen that in his lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be yeah, that's right. Like I say, it's an enormous place. There's some areas where people see the potential for asset appreciation, and yeah, there's going to be bidding wars there. And if people think that it's worth the price, they absolutely will. But if you had whole blocks that have been bought up by foreign buyers and they just sit there empty, you know, like they still have to pay someone to mow the lawn, right? They need to. If they're prepared to pay the taxes to live there, then it's you know, you can't argue with that. I mean, you can't argue with it. It is what it is. But it still comes down to, you know, do we want to have communities? Do we want to have communities? Do we want to have families? Or is this all just basically one big lunch counter now? Right, and there's just so many people that have been holding on to hope that things will turn around if they just vote for the right person, okay? Or if they, I agree, rural America would be a good move, yeah, because the infrastructure's there, just the people aren't. If you've got portable skills, there are lots of towns in the U.S. that are 8 to 10,000 people. That's a big enough amount that you could go and make a living and actually afford to live there. The population needs to spread out anyway. It gets hyper concentrated, and you get 2 or 3 generations or more living in a built up urban environment. They get disconnected from reality and they vote accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, family first, have kids. Absolutely. What is the point otherwise?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, here's the thing. Okay, we're overpopulated. We got 7 billion. No, the people saying that live in cities where they're stacked on top of each other.
That's right.
Right? Like termite mounds. I always use that term because so many people, functionally, that's what they become. They become like termites. Like they're just completely surrounded by people. And it's got to affect your psychology after a while. It's just terrible. We all got to live, and we all got to chase that dollar to live. It is what it is. But time is money too.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're traveling 2 hours each way into a city to make that big coin, and then back. I mean, yeah, okay, but in the end, it still just winds up, if everybody else is doing it, pretty soon you're just you have less time, and you're maintaining the same lifestyle as you had before. Mm-hmm. Quality of life is just simply not available under those circumstances. It's just something that you born into, and you hit the ground running like everybody else, and it just creates it's a ripe breeding ground for corruption, drug abuse, people trying to find shortcuts. How many young women have made, this is an example, okay? How many young men have decided to grow dope or sling dope? How many young women have started like an OnlyFans, right? So they can shake their junk on the internet for tips, right? These are kids from good families that are doing this stuff because they don't perceive any kind of future otherwise, okay? But also the desire to get ahead, to chase the dream, as it were. Well, the American dream, as I perceived it, is you went to work, you worked honestly, you had enough to do all of these things. You didn't have to sell your own soul.
Right.
To have something that grandma and grandpa had after the war, just for going to work and and just being normal people.
So we got somebody posted something here in the comments. Hold on, I wanted to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd it go? People are fighting in the comments again. Guys, stop fighting in the comments, please.
It's all love here, guys. Come on.
What do you guys think about school and college right now after this crisis? You know what, guys? I've been very against... I have never been pro-education because I don't have any education myself. And I saw firsthand where all my friends that went to college and did well in high school and went on to college, and they were like the top class and the whole real McCoy when it came to getting the best positions after they graduate. A lot of them are working menial jobs now, and a lot of them are barely scraping by, or they just disappeared off Facebook, and they disappeared off social media because they don't want people to think, what happened to Mr. Know-It-All? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just my experience from education. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, Mike Banks, you're right. That's not the youth's fault. It's not. They've been completely let down. They've been forgotten. They just get fed to the machine, and it's just expected that they're going to go do what they did, and it's going to work out the exact same way. And it's not. The ground has shifted under all of us. In one direction or another. There's a generational divide. There's an urban-rural divide. There's a divide in just about every identifiable group there is. And you've got the people that say, well, I don't know what you're complaining about. Everything's great where I am. And then you got everybody else who's screaming, like, for crying out loud, I'm drowning over here. What about the other half of the population? Like, when do we actually win at this, right? They're just, it's just not, the people making the decisions, okay, have got their own idea about how to develop a society or which direction to take it in. And nobody actually votes for any of that. They just do it, right? The established bureaucracy, the educators, the people with tenure, if you will, that have been doing this for 50 years are the ones determining the direction of everything. Yeah, Lord, basically Marxist training college. And it's very difficult to resist because it's all being done in distant capital cities or in cloistered educational establishments, okay, or large corporations that have sucked up all the business in your town, okay, and their head office is 1,000 miles away, okay, that sort of thing, or the media, which is broadcast everywhere, including on your smartphone, from thousands of miles away. You're being bombarded from every single direction, and it's not like there's some bad guy just rode into town that you can run out of town or hang up from the nearest street. The bad people, okay, causing all the division and turning your kids into amoral zombies just to try to run in place.
Right.
Okay, I mean you don't have any control over it at all, and even the basic family relationship where wisdom would be transmitted. The world has always been a treacherous place, Mike. There's always been people want to sell you, the idea of snake oil. Okay, I mean that's a 19th century concept. People knew that there were frauds and
that's those peddlers coming through town on wagons and horses, and
that's right.
They have these fancy little like fancy hats and fancy looking gizmos that they brought from the big city, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, there's no sense of community anymore, because the whole idea has been to de-emphasize tribalism so that we can basically have the entire world as one big supermarket where they can shuffle capital from one place to another at the push of a button.
We got Paul S. saying, so true, Mike. The ones who challenged did better in life. Then we got, what's his name here? He said something here about Australia. Yeah, Paul is saying everyone has a different learning style, but you are forced to be educated a certain way, and not everyone can comprehend it. And then we have someone else saying, it was a guy saying he got a degree or something, and he ended up working. Oh, I lost that. Yeah. I thought, I taught IT in college in Australia. It's a sham. So he taught IT. And he says, old technology being taught at least 15 years old, and it's a visa processing plant.
Pretty much, yeah.
So they're not even getting people up to date when it comes to like, if you look at some of the textbooks some of the kids are reading, it's like, wow, what are they? This is like a lot of this stuff's not updated, right? But still, you don't want to be too updated because you know what's been rolling in the last 5 years, right? So you kind of want to be like mid 80s, early 90s, Uncle Rico style, right?
That's right, exactly.
So you don't want to be too up to date because you know, last 5 years everything's been falling apart.
Yeah, well, I think that a factor that I've been seeing on Twitter, other commentators, and I think actually Evan, the McChronicle, had mentioned it on Twitter as well. Commercial real estate, right? There's a lot of people that work in these big cities that have been working remotely for 2 or 3 months now, right? No commute. You're doing your job at home on your laptop in your pajamas, right? That was the dream that everybody was talking about when the internet came out. That commuting, that whole commuting experience, and all of that kind of stuff would be replaced by remote work. And now that there was no choice but to implement it in order to keep a lot of IT and other service, especially financial businesses going. There's going to be an awful lot of people that aren't going to want to go back to it.
You know what? I could predict this right now, especially watching the mass exodus going out of Seattle and King County right now. I could guarantee you 20% of people working in Seattle will be living in Utah.
I could see it.
They can't afford to live in their own state anymore.
No, and the thing is, in places like Southern California and Seattle, like Portland, you got the hippy dippy trippy kind of environment there, which when the place was still kind of buttoned down and conservative was kind of neat, right? Like the late '60s with Haight-Ashbury and the whole hippie phenomenon and the rest of it. Like you could leave that area and go have your normal life somewhere else. But now that all of this has percolated through the population for 40 or 50 years, we've reached a point where law and order is starting to break down in a big way too. And you've got you've got the filth and the needles and the human excrement and the people sleeping on the sidewalks and the crimes, petty crimes, right? A lot of racially motivated crimes. There's a lot of political hot potatoes that mean that law enforcement is not applied evenly, and in some cases is not applied at all. And you juxtapose that with these real estate prices that are still astronomical, like they're just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
They're bordering on third world hellholes in a lot of areas, but the prices are still high. And I think it's just that people are taking that as their opportunity to take their money off the table and just get the hell out of there.
Yeah, Leo is saying Australians have the second highest personal debt in the world. Switzerland is first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, Supremo, I'm going to let you go because I want to see if I could get Steve on because he wanted to come on the show and tell me something.
Yeah, he said he needed about 30 minutes. If he's not back,
well, we've been talking for 32. Yeah.
Well, perfect. There you go. I filled in some time.
You added a lot of nutrition to this show. Trust me. People watch this. They want to walk away with some sort of nutritional value, right?
Well, I just bring in my viewpoint. That's all. I may be fairly pedestrian in my viewpoint. I'm not educated either. I got a grade 12 and all the rest of it too. But yeah, these are just the pictures in my head that I'm sharing with your lovely viewers.
Do you feel excited that you're on the most worst performing YouTube channel in the history of YouTube? I'm not making this up. You know that, right?
Always root for the underdog, my friend. No, you're going to bust through. There is a ceiling that has been put on you, and you were making moves to bust through it. And really, all your fight is at this point is to get to square one. Once you get on square one, you're going to take off the way you should have. Be encouraged. It's absolutely not an accident that things have been happening this way, and it has nothing to do with your content. You and I both know that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you're going to be fine, and I'm here for you, my friend.
I know you are.
Yeah, and I'm here for all of you too. Love you, you marvelous degenerates, you.
Yo, you know what? If I'll be at the shop tomorrow and Friday until 5 if you want to come by.
Yeah, I've got time. I think I will. I think I'll jump in the car and come see you tomorrow.
If you want, I'll be there till 5.
Okay, when are you opening up? 10 o'clock?
From noon.
From noon? Okay.
Yeah, you could hang out for a couple hours if you want.
That sounds groovy.
Okay, thank you, Supremo.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
God bless. Talk soon.
Kevin Thompson saying, Mike got drunk on a live stream and got banned for 3 months. No, I did not get drunk. I got drunk on many live streams, but I never got banned for that. They banned me for an Australian housing video I did 3 years ago. I keep getting problems with Australian housing videos. I don't know why. Like, I don't know what the big deal is. You know what I'm saying? Paul S. has the right attitude. Please like Mike's channel or this video. No, the channel, why this is the worst performing YouTube channel in YouTube is because I have 4,300 videos. And that's 3 videos, that's 2.8 videos per subscriber. So it goes to show that this is a very underperforming channel. But mind you, I'm going to refresh this to see how many people are watching this transmission. This is kind of weird. It is kind of flaky. I'll tell you something flaky. There was a YouTube channel that was live with over 500,000 subscribers. He had 548,000 subscribers. And I noticed something. He was live for about 40 minutes an hour. And the comments were going, just like on the channel here. He had 60, 70, 68 people watching. And he was a verified channel by YouTube. So the verified crap and the stuff that YouTube wants to push out there, no one's watching that stuff. How the heck do I have 180 people watching this live with 12,000 subscribers? Buddy has 500,000, and it was during the day. He had 60 people watching. How is that physically? It's not mathematically possible. Mike, I noticed you have 19 likes for this video. You need to tell people to click. Guys, click the like button. Also, share this video. Share it live now. So, Living the Dream says, lovely living room decor. Thank you. It's in the Hamptons. All right. All right, let's see if Steve is alive. I'm not sleeping is what I'm trying to say. Where the heck is he here? I just had him up. Here he is. Let's see if he picks up. Alright, he ain't picking up, guys. I think he's busy. He's not available, guys. I know he's been slowing down at work. Okay. Alright. Okay, let's get into some comments here. We got lots of people watching tonight. D-Dunk says maybe it's fake subscribers the person has. Supreme Cannon says, Solid Extra, I think it's sick, but it's all about money, and to be fair, Saturday morning cartoons were doing the same thing for 50 years. Yeah. Somebody is asking, Mike, what do you think of volunteer in anywhere? Not sure what that means, but volunteering's good. It's always good. I volunteered for all kinds of stuff in my lifetime, like weird, like traffic stuff and the firefighting. Donated time to the firefighters, you know. Toby Cooper saying he's having some barbecue. Probably is. I don't want to bug the guy. We need Paul S. Paul S., who's in the comments. We need him to call into the show. Add me on Skype, Mike Martins 1980. Add me on Skype if you can. Who else is available? 26 Gunter looks like he's available, but I have him on Mike in the Night. I got my astrologist who is available in Florida, but we'll have her on Mike in the Night to give us an astrology update on what's happening. Some people messaging me in Spanish. Hola, muy bien, gracias, amigo, ¿cómo estás? And I'm just trying to see who's here. Okay. You know who I want to talk to, too? That I haven't talked to in a while? Let me see if he's here. If he's available, I would like to talk to eBankU. He's in the comments. And he lives in Tokyo, and he owns multiple properties. He's been on the show many times discussing how he left Canada. He's Anglo-Saxon. He's white. He lived in Canada. I think he's born and raised in Canada, and he said, like, I'm going to Japan out of all places. We got Stephanie from New Zealand in the house. So Paul is saying I'm on the East Coast. He's probably in Miami Beach. It's getting late there. All right, let's go back to some articles here real quick. So again, your internet bill, I covered this yesterday. Ontario should target its electricity subsidies and let the bills go up for consumers who could afford it. Article scan, please. Let it go up for consumers who could afford it? So it's saying, oh, you make more money, you're going to pay more in your electricity bill. Like, how does that even work? Internet bills triple. Of course your internet bill's going to triple. They're going to make money off you. They know you're at home in dire straits. They need to make money off you. All right, let's go over some of the articles we went over tonight. Okay, let's go over to Canada. CMHC warns Canadians support for their homeownership cannot be unlimited. So people getting support, it's not going to go forever. Let's go to article scan, please. Bank of Canada data shows why household debt is the biggest vulnerability while everyone's deleveraged. And see these buildings? They're not even owned by Canadian companies. A lot of these buildings are owned by China in downtown Vancouver. A lot of people don't know these things, you know what I'm saying? So it says here, just how much did Canada lean on household debt to grow the economy over the past few decades? A lot. Let's take a look at the graph and see if they got one here for us. There it is. There's Q1 of 2000, Q3 of 2007, and Q4. There it is. Everything's going. Businesses borrowed a lot less than households. Yeah. Your house now is a business now. Okay? A house now is a business. That's what they made it into. They made it into commodities, trading. We got Canadian government debt mostly scaled with GDP. We all know the government's been spending problem, right? Well, it's not nearly as bad as Canadian households. In 2000, government debt was 81% of Canada's GDP. By the end of 2019, the number is a whopping 83% of GDP. In other words, government is spending has mostly scaled with the growth of GDP. Household debt grew nearly 30 times the government debt. I love Better Dwelling. These guys have the best stuff. All right, let's keep going. Canadian real estate sales see the worst April since 1984. Montreal and Toronto lead lower. Again, the locals can't jump in. Like in the 80s, in the 1980s, you'd have a lot of people on the sidelines with a lot of saved money. A lot of people were wealth building, and a lot of banks. A lot of banks, unfortunately, were giving 4 or 5% interest on your money, 5%, 6%. So you were wealth building through the banks. And then the banks got deregulated and everybody wasn't making money anymore. Canadian real estate have dropped to the lowest level in a generation. Canadian Real Estate Association, CREA, data shows sales fell in April. Slower growth was expected going into this month. However, not this slow. The volume for the month was the lowest since 1984. There's a book that was written in 1948. I don't know if you know it. It's called 1984. He just switched the year around from 1948 to basically let people know that Big Brother is watching you. George Orwell predicted 1984 to be the year. But technology wasn't up to speed yet. Canadian real estate defaults expected to triple. Price forecasts are all over the place. There you go. Bank of Canada mortgages in arrears expected to triple, but it could be worse. Look at that purple sky. That's real, people. Because it's moving in, and it's not going to be good. Someone's asking me if I know Stefan Molyneux. I'm like, no, I don't. Like, those big high-end channels don't know. I don't know anybody from I just talk to the local channels, that I see and then bring them on the show and they bring me on their show type of thing. There's a whole underground YouTube economy, or a whole underground YouTube movement, Canadian real estate prices forecasted to rise 12% or drop over 30%. So is it a bear, or we're going to run into another bull market again? I think once they raise interest rates, you're going to see this bear start running everywhere and dominate the markets. I don't see... Once interest rates go up, it's finished. The locals are finished. The locals are toast. They can raise interest rates, and they I don't know what they're going to do. Guys, stop blocking each other, please. Guys, stop blocking each other, please. Ben Savage has a weird personality. He's been commenting on my videos for a long time. Stop blocking each other, please. People have... I get a lot from all kinds of... like Ben... I don't know if you know Ben Parson that's been commenting on my stuff. It's okay, you know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's all good, In the end, it's okay, We all drink from the same water. You know what I'm saying? So there it is there. Which housing crash will be the worst, Vancouver or Toronto? I'll answer that right now. Vancouver will be worst because Vancouver's been building since 2010 Olympics. Everybody sold during the 2010 Olympics thinking the market was going to crash, and it didn't. And it went for another 10 years. Like huge increases. Toronto only started going nuts when Vancouver put the foreign buyers tax on in 2017. And then everyone fled to Toronto, and the other half fled to Seattle. So those two markets went completely crazy. So Toronto already seen a bit of a 3%, 4% correction, but Vancouver will be hit the hardest. One, because everybody left Vancouver. That the middle class is completely leaving the city. I read the Douglas Todd article that stated that people are basically mass exodusing their cities. Seattle's seeing a mass exodus. Layla says, I sent you an article, Mike, that house prices in Australia to drop 50%. Canada said 30%. Okay. I did, guys, just so you know, I did do a video on, someone asked me about my predictions on the real estate markets, like in the Commonwealth. I did do a video on it. It's right here. I did 2 videos on it, actually, recently, like very recently. So it's under housing, right here. Okay. It's not here. Australian housing carnage. Watch this one. And, right here. Australian housing bubble, 1997 to 2020. And I did one here for Canadian housing bubble. My fat head's in the way. Right there. Canadian housing bubble, 2010 to 2020. So I did do that. I did do them, my predictions on crashes and where they're going to go. And I did another video that's very important too. A very key video where I actually discussed the percentages of the drop. Wow, there's so many videos here. So many videos. Yeah, housing showing signs of breaking. I got David Hasselhoff on this show here, on the episode there. Guys, follow me on Instagram if you guys want. I'll give you my Instagram, okay? You could message me on there too. I don't put a lot of stuff. And my YouTube channel, my Facebook channel that they most desperately want to take down. They really want to take down. I don't know why they want to take down my Facebook page with 120,000 followers on it. I don't know what they're... Well, ooh, Ron Paul likes this. I don't know why they would want to take down my Facebook page. It makes no sense. You know, it's like, what did I do wrong? Like, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to brand my Facebook page now as a business. Like, what hours are you opening? They're asking me what, and I keep saying I'm a public figure. And then Facebook gets back to me saying, you're not a public figure. You hold no credibility. It's like, do you want me to pour gravy down my pants now or later? If you want me to pour gravy down my pants so I can become credible, just like you guys, I'll do it. Gravy. All right. Okay, who can we get on the show? We should get Lord Humongous on the show. He seems pretty upset in the comment section there. Layla says you're always ahead, Mike. Thank you, Layla. Morgan Davis is saying, would you be willing to go on Stefan Molyneux's show? Sure. I don't think he would want me. Like, I don't have nothing. Like, I'm going to be honest, guys. Like, those people are really, like, they're really, like, okay, they're smart, they're intelligent. Like, for me, it's like I would bring down their, like, I have, like, for me to go on there, it's like I would, like, ruin his show. Like, I wouldn't bring anything of any value to his show, you know? I'm not trying to say in a bad way. I would go on his show in 2 seconds. If Stefan Molyneux or one of those guys called me and says, would you like to come on our show? I'd be like, why? Like, I would be like, why would you want me on your show? It's like, you know what I mean, right? Like, it's kind of like getting a street guy to come and do some thug work or something, you know? That's what a lot of people see me as, you know? Like some, you know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying? But I would love to go on another channel. Sean Lieberman says, tell him about your childhood. Oh, you guys, You guys don't want to know about my childhood. Not my parents are great. My parents, I love my parents and my grandparents and my family and everything. It's the schooling system I went through. The whole, well, I could go on there and talk to him about that, and he's gonna be like, oh, there's no way this happened in Ontario. This is impossible. Yeah, Supreme Candidate saying Molyneux is pretty woke. Not everybody's taste, but not afraid of any not afraid of any subject. Yeah, guys, I could talk about anything under the sun, right? Anything under the sun. Yeah. Jay Smith, you could get a 2.5% 5-year mortgage for first-time buyer. That's 2.5% 5-year term. What is that on a 30-year 30-year term, 5-year amortization at 2.5%? So on $1 million, you would be paying $25,000 a year in VIG. Someone asked me, she says, like, Mike, you keep talking about VIG. You keep saying VIG all the time. What does VIG mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means. Let me see. I've never looked it up. VIG meaning. Okay. VIG meaning. All right, here it is.
VIG.
Oh, okay.
VIG.
Yeah, so I haven't been out to lunch. VIG. What is the VIG on a loan? Why is it called VIG? Urban Dictionary. The VIG, or the juice, or the VIG is one of the ways sports book makes its money. Okay, so it's interest. Whoa, Blunt News joined the channel as an underboss. Holy crap, thank you, Blunt News. It's commonly to pay back the principal, and you have to pay the VIG, or interest, weekly to keep your legs intact. The interest. Yeah, VIG is basically the cost of borrowing. I say that a lot. VIG.
VIG. VIG.
Guys, join the channel. Blunt News just joined the channel. Go below, you'll see join the channel. Morgan Davies is saying, no, dude, I should have been more specific. I am part of his Discord group. I recommend you to join. There are a small handful of people on there, and they would love to have you. Sure, just email me a link. My email's in my information about the channel. Just email me a link to the Discord, and I'll check it out. I have no problem. Yeah, Jay Smithers is saying vigorish. Yeah, I say vigorish too. Very vigorish. Right? Vigorish is a fee charged by a bookmaker or a bookie for accepting gamblers' wages. Vigorish could be defined as independent of outcome of the event of the backgammon. Blah, blah, blah. VIG is having cost of borrowing. What's the VIG? Yeah, there you go. So I do say that a lot, guys. Nobody panic when I say, yeah, I'm paying like 3% VIG on that, right? It just means interest. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reason why financial channels or other financial channels wouldn't want me on their channel. They'll be saying, yeah, so it looks like the government's going to be charging 2% VIG on that money. They're going to be like, what? Or I'm going to say, oh, I know this guy that borrowed 5 large. Like, what the hell is 5 large? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, All right, let's keep going with some of these articles here. We got Zoe in the house. Papa Pissed in the house. Solid Extra in the house. Toby Cooper says, my older friend said it was $2.65 for a pack of smokes. Yeah. In Australia, it's $45 a pack for a pack of smokes right now. $45. All right. Canadian real estate defaults expected to triple. We got that one. We got the purple sky one. And we got the bull market, the bear market. Toronto detached homes in medium sales price fall below $1 million. So, guys, Congratulations. Congratulations, guys. Living in Toronto, that your tear down 85-year-old house off of a main street that's noisy 12 to 18 hours a day is finally under $1 million. You can get the house I'm in here in the Hamptons for 400 grand. So, yeah, just falls below $1 million. Canada's debt relief pauses insolvencies, but still biggest year since 2010. I really feel, for people living in the big cities. And we're seeing prices go up. Urban exodus. Here's the article for the urban exodus here. So a lot of people, this is in Australia, apartment rents, along with broader housing industry, were firing on all cylinders before the pandemic, driven by a highly favorable demographic trends and the lingering housing shortage. Wow. Australia really speaks English really speaks proper English. Listen to this. Along with the broader, I can't even read it. Watch this. Along with the broader housing industry, we're firing on all cylinders before the pandemic, driven by highly favorable demographic trends and the lingering housing shortage. Like in Australia, they speak English like woo. You know what I'm saying? Urban exodus. Ultra-dense metros like New York City, Chicago, and San Francisco may see lasting pain as residents flee to lower-cost and safer semi-urban suburban markets, including faster-growing Sunbelt metros. So this is the cost of... Okay, so this is a company that's actually writing this article for the sake of writing it. Okay, I see what's going on here. For the sake of talking about somewhere else. So there it is. It's from yesterday. RET rankings, apartments. So there it is. So all the house capital, real estate, and showing where people are moving. And again, it's people leaving the big cities. People don't want to deal with big city. I don't blame people with not wanting to deal with big cities anymore. I really don't. All right, let's head over to Sydney. Rents fall as landlords struggle to fill vacant properties during Australia's COVID crisis. Yeah. COVID crisis. So here it is. Rents for Sydney houses have fallen to the lowest point since 2013, while some Melbourne tenants are finding landlords willing to negotiate reductions. So they're even negotiating reductions. You see this right here, guys? You see this little picture here of these homes? You know how much money there's here in homes? This is like probably bigger than Cuba's GDP right here in Australia. You know Cuba? Well, it's a country just like 65 miles south of Florida. I almost got arrested in Cuba. Anyways, so this is bigger than Cuba's GDP. These houses right here. These houses don't produce anything. These houses don't go to work. These houses don't. They collect taxes for your governments, and they collect subsidies and all kinds of other crap. But this is bigger. This picture right here of these houses are bigger than Cuba's GDP. I'm not joking you. That's how big the Australian housing market is. It's bigger than almost all of Europe's GDP. The Australian housing market. All of Europe. Okay, the comments are going nuts here. Smoking supports... Smoking... people are talking about smoking in the comments. Zoe says Equitable took out major provisions for their expected losses this year. Yeah. So, Mike, I just messaged you on Facebook. Somebody replied with a message And a winky face. Not even kidding. No, it's my auto reply, right? Because what happens on Facebook, I'm going to give you guys a crash course on Facebook here. When you got over 100,000 people that follow your Facebook page, what happens is it does, you could set it up for an auto reply if you want. Because over 100,000, I do get 3 to 15 messages per day, sometimes 45 messages per day in different languages. So it does that auto because I cannot go through all the messages. So somebody messaged me in there. Good. There's my Facebook here. So go ahead and guys, if you need to message me, just message me here, and also message me on this thing here, Instagram. Message me on Instagram. Woo! Okay, what else do we got? What do we got for time here? 1:46. Let's see. Let's give Steve one last. Let's call Lord Humongous. Let's see if he's okay. Yo, how you doing, buddy?
How's it going, Mikey Mike?
It's going.
Yeah?
It's going. I just can't hear my soundboard. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear my soundboard. That's okay. I can hear it perfect. That's okay. So
where's my applause? Where's my applause?
I did. I put it twice. I don't. I just can't hear it. Maybe something went wrong with that, with the audio on that. So, Lord, you doing okay, buddy?
Yeah. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I was really happy that your care package arrived.
Yes, it was very nice. I'm saving my Mike Martin's towel, and I am going to make a flag post out of it when I get my development going here down south.
Nice. Put the Mike Martins on a flagpole. That's so cool, buddy. It's like it's like what's his name? The Raven wanted to put go with a sign in some sort of a riot. Was it? No, it wasn't a riot. It was a protest in downtown.
Yeah, the gun protest.
And he wanted to bring a Mike Martin sign.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a Mike Martin's cult neon sign too, and I'm gonna hang it on my new abode down south.
Yeah, but the problem is you don't speak that kind of English. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that English is the Queen's English, right?
The Queen, yes, the Queen, yes. I'm not ruled by the Queen, so I don't know.
Yes. Guys, Lord Humongous has been going through somewhat of a tough time lately, so if you guys want to, he's on Patreon, and I support him on Patreon. So if you guys, Lord, if you want to put a link to your Patreon there in the comments.
Yeah, I have a hard time finding how to link that up. That's the problem.
Oh.
You know, I'm still getting used to the whole Patreon platform.
Okay.
But yeah, I do encourage support, and I'm going to be making some videos coming up about the development down south. I'm just trying to get my ducks in a row right now. So, yeah. But it's going to move. It's going to move forward, and I think people will be really impressed about how I do it and go about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you're going to document it, right?
You got to. Oh, of course.
Yeah, please document.
You have to save cost.
Yeah.
You have to save cost.
Mm-hmm.
You have to save costs in this environment. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're not telling you the reality of what's really going on in the real economy. The stock markets, all the markets are manipulated, and they're so detached from reality. It's just sickening, you know. And all this printing of QE to infinity. People say that they could do that forever, but they can't, because that's when you will lose complete confidence in your fiat.
Can I throw something really delusional out there? I took a note on this. Can you maybe respond to this one?
Yes.
Are they on a mission to replace the productive economy of wage earners and bring in virtual assets of cookbooks and fake statistics?
Yeah, that's part of the other parallel that they're running. They want the digital system.
I wrote this down as a conspiracy.
No, it's not a conspiracy. They're telling you every day on television what they're doing. You have to read the key words.
But why would they purposely do that? Because that's if you're removing the productive wage earners, right? If you're removing them by having unaffordable housing, so they have to leave, and the areas become de-gentrified or become changed, but they change in worse because there's no one there to keep up the infrastructure, Lord.
Exactly. They're replacing a bad system with an even worse system. That's why you guys have to get off that digital. And I've been encouraging people to start bartering and trade locally and deal in sound money, gold and silver coins. I'm trying to get so far away from cash, Mike, that I don't even want to know what it is anymore. I do operate in the trading realm with digital stuff, but that's just for buying and selling on the phony rigged stock market. And I ripped it off this week. My gold stocks are about to, and silver stocks are about, miners are about to pop through the ceiling. Physical, they've been moving up the physical Crimex spot price, which is complete BS. It has been for a long time. There's bullion wars going on between all the central banks right now that nobody's paying attention to. They're all fighting over gold because at the end of the day, when these systems do finally collapse, that's the only thing they're going to be able to revert back to, because gold and silver is the perfect honest money and sound money. That's why they don't want any of us so-called slaves out here, trading or owning any of the physical metals. They want you trading on their slave script systems and digital delusions. That's why I stay away from all that crypto garbage. It has zero value. None of it holds any value. It never will. And I would tell people, don't go to college. I was at the Walmart today, and there was a guy out front petitioning to make college more affordable. And you know what I told the guy? I said, I don't support that. I would tell people not to go to college.
Yeah, me too. Because they deregulated the schooling system. If they stopped and they left the schooling system alone and left it private, instead of making it federalized and giving everyone free money to pay back with 3% VIG, then it wouldn't be so competitive.
Yeah, but it's a big debt trap. It doesn't matter what profession you want to go towards. Let's say you want to be a doctor. Those guys go into
you could be a doctor back in the day and work at a fast food joint serving hamburgers and go through med school and not go into debt back in the 60s and 70s.
Exactly, but since the 90s, man, it's been a total BS show. I would encourage nobody to go to college. I would actually encourage people to learn a trade of some sort. Because when this thing does come down, and it's coming down, trades and tradable skills are going to be what's in demand. If you're going to be able to fix a car that's 20 years old or even a newer one, with the software updates and all that stuff. But yeah, you got to have the skills to adapt, man. And there's nothing we can do about it, because debt is the total other side of the system, and these clowns that have been printing this phony money, for over 100 years through the private reserve federal government bank, private bank, it's going to come crashing. It's not going to work. It's mathematically inevitable. It's going to collapse.
Well, it doesn't mathematically make any sense. So this is the question I asked Lord earlier, if you're just tuning in, because we just had a whole pile of people jump onto the channel here. The question I asked him originally was, this is from my notes. It's a mission. To me, it's like they're on a mission to replace the productive economy of wage earners with the virtual assets of cookbooks and fake statistics. And yeah, what you answered to that was, so I'm not delusional by saying something like that.
No, it's been fake for a very long time. Decades. All these agencies, government numbers, they're all bogus. We all see that.
But bringing down, yeah, I see what you're saying now.
They're all cooked, man. Everything's cooked.
Yeah.
We need to go back to zero, and every country needs their own independent sound money currency, basically, or real money, and that's what it's going to have to come to. There's no other way of getting around this. There's so much corruption inherent within the system itself that the system's it's got to get destroyed.
It's like when you go back to it goes back to like you're stuck in a room, right? And you got a crowbar. That crowbar could open the door, and get you out and make you free. But the problem is they're doing everything in their power so that you don't use that crowbar and get free.
Exactly. They want you psychologically trapped in your own house.
That's right.
That's what they want. They don't want freedom and independence. That's not how a centralized economy works. They want a small centralized economy that's controlled by very few, the 1% that they call elites. I call them parasites. They're parasitic. Those are the ones that need to be taken out of society.
Well, aren't parasites damaging to the human cell structure?
Of course, they suck your blood, all of them. What is the lifeblood of any economy? Transportation, every aspect of the economy. That's the lifeblood, man. And these gangsters have sucked the complete lifeblood out of the entire world and every country on the planet. And
now that the Fed's printing more money and getting more money out there, they're binging on this debt, and they're binging on these lifelines to stay afloat, and now they're buying. Remember, we talked about this. They're buying the ETFs and stocks, and we talked about this again. It's almost like the players playing the players now.
Yep, that's what's happening with the big banks too, and interbank lending. And then they just throw the mortgage garbage in there. The mortgage needs to go away. It really does. That whole industry is so filled with corruption, man. It's beyond imaginable. That's why we had these ridiculous prices for these overpriced shanties, I would call them. The standard 3-bedroom, 2-bath is just a shanty that you're attached to, for 30 years with VIG attached to it. It doesn't matter if the interest rates go negative on their side. They don't care.
Well, because they get paid to borrow the money.
Exactly. It's usury, man. You can't have a user's debased system if you want a fair and honest money system. It just doesn't work.
No.
Can I say something though too?
Go ahead.
On my Patreon channel, if people do subscribe and they do want some tips on how to navigate this market, and if they are in the market, if they do sign up, I will give them direct access to my Skype to call me anytime they want. That's what good. I can do as a replacement for making so many videos. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still trying to work on that aspect.
Well, I could teach you anything you need to know about making a video, right?
I know, but I got so much other stuff going on with trying to get this thing off the ground and going, with affordable housing and living, that I'm going to make my property an example out of that. Good. And show people that it can be done for very cheaply. You know what I'm saying?
Lord, did you put your Patreon channel on your YouTube channel?
I think I did. I don't know if there's a link to it or not. I don't know how to.
I'm checking right now. Okay, let me see if I got to unsubscribe to you. I got to unsubscribe to like 140. No, you're still here.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not here. You're here.
I would tell.
You're here, but your Patreon link is not there. Let me see if it's in your about. No, you know what? If you don't mind, Patreon donations. Yeah, you got. Okay, go find your Patreon. You'll find your link on your thing. I have your address and everything's on here.
Yeah.
On about discussion. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there it is. Home. Okay. So guys, I'm gonna share you the link for Lord Humongous's channel. He'll start throwing up videos up there. He's got 123 subscribers. There it is. There. So guys, if you don't mind subscribing to his channel, there it is. There's enough people on here watching this to easily get this to 500 easy. And
T-Square was my last subscriber.
T-Square?
Yeah, T-Square. He's the 123rd subscriber.
Good. Good. Oh, here, I'll give you the link to directly to his videos. Guys, this is the link directly to the videos. Sorry, the one I gave you went to his home. May 18th, Mike Martin's Humongous package arrived. And then Philosophy with Humongous. Then we got a line at the food bank. Never seen it this long. Ooh, gold and silver.
Mike, my mission is to help all people, us working 999% of people out there, to help them navigate, so they're not caught up by these banker crimes, as far as I'm concerned, and these mega corporation crimes, because I don't want to see our freedom and independence eroded away because of these gangster criminal organizations. So I'm going to do everything in my power to help people one-on-one if they want different techniques and things that I know to help them navigate finances and economic conditions. And there's ways to use the fiat. I'm not saying it's all going to crash tomorrow. I think it's going to be a stagflation type of event as far as the fiat goes, but they're not going to be able to switch into this digital BS until that fiat is completely destroyed.
Yeah,
and that's where you're going to see really a lot of big fireworks happen. Especially these corporations, they're all on they're all on welfare.
Mhm.
Amazon,
Well, they are on
Microsoft.
welfare because they're binging on debt, right?
Yeah, but the
But
Fed, they don't understand.
But
The Fed just hands that money.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Here's the deal with this, Lord. The problem with this is that they have the Feds are buying up now junk, right? So they're basically taking something and creating a value for something. So they're creating the demand before the supply, and right. It's garbage. It's absolute. There's all those junk ETFs that the Feds are buying this week have absolutely zero market value.
Mike, it's also highly illegal what they are doing.
Yes, they're going around the Federal Reserve Act of Section 133, right?
Exactly. So they've had a trading desk for a very long time. And these are the same criminals that rig the prices daily. They can suppress any index on the stock market via computer. I mean, it's just a mess, man. It's just pure corruption. And now they're trying to control the whole thing, and it's falling apart. I mean, the lie is breaking apart as we're speaking right now. Mm-hmm. It has been for over, it's really happening. It's starting to happen now. But I would tell people, if they are in the market, to buy up some really good cheap gold and silver miners right now, because they are ready to break through their resistance levels. They've already broken through actually slightly just today. So silver miners and gold miners are going to be the play probably here until the end of the month. Well, and then I would reevaluate.
I play the risky market oil, right?
Yeah.
I play the risky oil market, and I've been doing well with oil, like really well, because I've been buying and selling, right? I've been buying
We don't give financial advice to anybody. Mm-hmm. We just give friendly advice on what we do. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So oil is sitting at 33.63, up 14 cents today on the trading right now in Australia. It's 2 hours for the market to close. So I've been watching this closely to find out, because remember, Lord, I live in the Pacific, and I got to wake up 6:30 in the morning to hear the market bell ring, right? And it's pretty early for me sometimes when I'm up late with the kids and stuff. So sometimes it's pretty tough to wake up to get that market bell so I could jump on, right? So
that's why I like Mountain Time, Mikey, because I get up at 7:30. Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
So Aquarius is saying, guys, in the next month and a half, everyone who is on CERB, that's stimulus, and started March 15 will be out of the 4 payments everyone can have. The poop is going to get worse very soon. That's very true. I did make a video about that earlier today on my channel. I did cover that. Aquarius, go to the channel.
She's right.
Huh?
Yeah. She's right on. Aquarius is right on with that.
Yeah, it's right here. I did a video this morning about 50% of small businesses can't make June rent. Electricity bills set to skyrocket. Consumers,
they don't care about small business because it's independent. That's what these big corporations are all against. Mm-hmm. They want the 4 big corporations and the big defense contractors making the whole monetary bogus system in their favor. That's how it works. I want to see them go bankrupt. I don't want to see Microsoft anymore. I don't want to see Amazon. I don't want to see Google. I don't want to even see Apple, because that big tech is being used against us throughout the medical tyranny that's going on with this whole virus thing. Who got indicted? Oh, Dr. Fauci just got sealed indicted today. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, that's right. I think you sent me a link on that, didn't you?
Yeah, he's connected to Bill Gates. Yeah, he's connected to Bill Gates. Bill Gates is the World Bank, the IMF. It's all a big club, and we're not in it. That's what people need to realize and stop supporting these damn companies.
That's true.
These
But do
damn
you really want to be part of that club? A guy wears a funky sweater, the other guy smells like breath mints,
No.
and the other guy
No.
probably still a virgin?
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't. I want to be. I want to be a part of the constitutional.
You want to be
freedom
part
and
of the cult of Mike Martin's essay.
That too. Exactly. That's just a byproduct.
Let me rephrase that. You want to be part of what you want to be part of, right?
Exactly.
And you don't want to be supporting these guys.
My free will to choose whether I wear a medical mask or rubber gloves. You know, no edict is going to stop the humongous from doing what he wants free will wise. You know what I'm saying? And that's where people need to get. But I do want to give your listeners a quick tip on gold and silver.
Mm-hmm.
If you take that stimulus money, I would go out and buy physical if you still can. That's the problem. The gold and silver ratio is falling right now, and that's just another mechanism. But you can take advantage of that. Hold physical gold and silver right now before, don't complain about the stupid premiums. If you can get physical, get your hands on it as much as you can.
Interesting. All right.
Makes sense?
Some pretty bold statements there from the Lord.
Sound money, buddy.
Lord Humongous from the wastelands in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah. It's all a wasteland. Everywhere's a wasteland. Nobody escapes.
All right, Lord, I'm past my second hour. Do me a favor, buddy. Put your link to your Patreon on the thing, please. So get a few people jump on and help you out.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Hey, God bless you. Well, Mike in the Night this Saturday. It's going to be about. Let me tell you guys. Let me go to Article Scan, guys. This Saturday, Mike in the Night. Go to the channel here. I'll even give you the link to set your reminders. Copy paste. Hold on.
Mike, it's good being the worst best channel on YouTube, though.
This is the worst performing channel in the history of YouTube. Because I have 4,300 videos and I have 12,000 subscribers. You divide that, that's 2.1 or 2.5 videos per subscriber.
That's right.
2.5 subscribers per video. Sorry. Okay, here it is,
proudly,
guys.
My brother.
So here's the Mike in the Night here, guys. This Saturday, Mike in the Night, consumer spending rebound. The stock markets are acting like nothing's happened to the economy. What the heck is happening? So here it is, guys. There's the link. Go there. Set your reminder. Share this on social media if you can. It is called Mike in the Night Consumer Spending Rebound. If you guys don't mind sharing this and get people to call into the show. And if you'd like for me to go on another, like Lord Humongous set me up with Mario, right?
Mario, yeah.
Yeah, you
Mario
set me up with Mario, and I didn't even know he spoke Portuguese.
Maneco 64's channel, yes.
Unless
he's actually one of my mentors, man. I've been following him for years.
So
we know a lot of economics.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just reading the comments here. Yeah. No, he's you got me on that channel, and that way he's a really nice guy. So if you know anyone else that wants to have me, I don't know who. I'm like one of those bad in-laws or one of the bad family members that nobody wants at the party.
Well, I want you to get hooked up with another Canadian that lives here right by me. That Silver Liberties channel is really great.
I did message him. I reached out to him myself.
Greg is probably the best technical analyst I've ever ran across in my life.
Okay.
The guy knows his stuff big time. So definitely check your channel out.
Seer Guru is asking if you're on Facebook.
Yeah, no, I don't do Facebook.
I thought we were friends. If Facebook doesn't say we're friends, we are not friends.
Facebook is guilty of selling everybody's data, personal data. They have been since its inception. It's a joke of a company. It needs to go down as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's it.
All right. All right, you got it.
All right.
God bless.
All right, bro.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Oh, there goes the soundboard. Yeah, there goes the soundboard. All right, thank you. So, Mike in the Night, guys, I left a link in there for you guys to subscribe. Someone's saying, yeah, Layla will be. Hopefully, she'll be on Mike in the Night. We'll get a hold of her in Syria. Hopefully Supreme Candy can come on Mike in the Night. Hopefully we could get Low Roller Scratcher, I've been trying to get him. Aquarius is saying, Minister Quattro said no one will be punished for taking CRRB. Too many people in bad situations. So that's what Aquarius is saying. Let's pray for her, and hopefully she does well through this tough time. There's a lot of people we need to pray for that are going through a really tough time. That's why I discontinued my Patreon thing. I tried to disconnect it, and it's giving me a hard time disconnecting my Patreon. I don't know why. But I'm trying to disconnect my Patreon account because I don't need. I already bought my green screen. I fixed my computer. I bought a new actual monitor with all the money you guys sent me. So I actually used the money to look at this. This place looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? So it's because of you guys this is happening, right? And I invest all the money that I get from AdSense and from you guys just goes to this making this happen, right? And it grows in time, right? And, keep working it. Keep building. And, yeah. Okay, guys. It's time for me to tune out. I'm just reading the... Someone wants to share an economic page. Yeah, no problem. Just put the link in the comments there. If there's an economic page you want us to share or look at here on the show, no problem, man. Mike in the Night, guys. This Saturday, I'll see you then. Remember, guys, be careful. And if you can't, stay safe. No. It's the other way around. Sorry, my saying is like this. Stay safe, guys. And if you can't, be careful. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the calls. Thanks for the support. We'll see each other Saturday.